very warm welcome to you wherever it is you're tuned in from, Kenya, East Africa, and around the world. This is TECHOVER, the show on NTV that discusses all things technology. My name is Brian Jojotieno, NTV's in-house techie. Today, we'll be discussing businesses adopting digital technologies, the challenges thereof, and how they can navigate some of those challenges. And definitely, we'll handle the big question of artificial intelligence, skilling of human resource. But before that, here is what has been happening in the course of the week. This week, we explain the reason why 32-year-old FTX founder and crypto mogul Sam Bankman was handed a 25-year prison sentence by a New York court. On Thursday, FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced with a total of 300 months or 25 years in prison for 7 counts of conspiracy and fraud charges stemming from the collapse of crypto exchange he started. The judge applied a 240-month sentence for 4 of the charges plus a 60-month sentence for 2 others and ordered that Bankman-Fried forfeit more than $11 billion, including his personal property, as recommended by prosecutors. U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan handed down the sentence at a Manhattan court hearing after rejecting Bankman-Fried's claim that FTX customers did not actually lose money and finding that he lied during his trial testimony. A jury found Bankman-Fried, 32, guilty on November 2nd on 7 fraud and conspiracy counts stemming from FTX's 2022 collapse in what prosecutors have called one of the biggest financial frauds in the U.S. history. The sentence marked the culmination of Bankman-Fried's plunge from an ultra-wealthy entrepreneur and major political donor to the biggest trophy to date in a crackdown by the U.S. authorities on malfeasance in crypto markets. Open quote, a lot of people feel really let down, and they were very let down, and I am sorry about that. I am sorry about what happened at every stage, end quote, he said. He praised his former employees and executives, including co-founder Gary Wang and his former girlfriend Caroline Ellison, both of whom testified against him in the trial. Bankman claimed that he wished he could help return customers' funds, but acknowledged that he was no longer in a position of power. Open quote, my useful life is probably over, end quote, Bankman said. My useful life is probably over. It's been over for a while now, from before my arrest, end quote. Bankman-Fried had billed himself as a proponent of effective altruism, finding the best ways to help other people, in particular by donating all or part of one's wealth to charity rather than, say, volunteering at a soup kitchen. When the crypto world latched into crisis in the spring of 2022, he bought shares in the troubled platform BlockFi and another troubled company, Voyager. Sam Bankman-Fried, who once owned a $32 billion business and seemed to have the world at his feet. He rubbed shoulders with the likes of former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair and former US President Bill Clinton. Born to prominent liberal academics and growing up in the shadow of Silicon Valley, Bankman showed an astonishing aptitude for maths, puzzles at an early age. After graduating with physics degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology MIT, he joined the trading firm Jane Street. It was there that he started donating half his salary to charity and embracing effective altruism, a movement whose proponents say they take an evidence-based approach to charitable giving. However, prosecutors have said that the responsible image he cultivated concealed his years-long embezzlement of customer funds. His parents were major influences. Both are Stanford Law professors who are well-known advocates for social equity. Michael Lewis, an author of a new book about Bankman-Fried, told the BBC he believes that the entrepreneur simply saw crypto as a means to make money to change the world. In 2017, Bankman co-founded Alameda Research, a crypto hedge fund, which he says was at one point making him $1 million a day. A couple of years later, he set up FTX in Hong Kong. In videos captured for social media, he would often come across as awkward, but in a BBC interview conducted in the Bahamas last year, he appeared at ease, sporting his trademark t-shirt and shorts despite his business empire crumbling around him. But his empire came crashing down and investors lost billions. He was found guilty on all 7 counts related to fraud and money laundering. He had built his fortune on lies. Sam could be an example of among so many crypto scammers who are free and operating exchanges that defraud unsuspecting investors. One such scammer at large is Ruja Ignatova, who was christened the Crypto Queen, who founded the Ponzi scheme around OneCoin. Ignatova was charged with fraud and money laundering on October 12, 2017, just 2 weeks before she boarded a commercial flight to Greece, and has not been seen since. She was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list in June 2022, and there is a $100,000 reward for information leading to her arrest. Ignatova is the only 11th woman to ever be featured on FBI's 10 most wanted list, which has included more than 500 fugitives since its inception. No women have been added since. Until her disappearance, the Bulgarian woman had scammed investors $4 billion through OneCoin. Crypto Ponzi schemes cost victims a total of $7.8 billion last year, an analytics company TRM Labs reported. Of that, $2 billion was stolen through attacks on cross-chain bridges that allow crypto to pass from one blockchain to another, thefts that were made possibly by emergence of new chains rather than a focus on Bitcoin, were the scams that dominated the crypto marketplace in 2022, with majority of fraudulent transactions tied to Ponzi schemes. And that's our tech news of the week. Very well, now you're on the know. Time now for that discussion on businesses adopting digital technologies. I'm now joined by Wanja from Tano Digital. She is a woman in tech and she is the CEO of Tano Digital. She'll be telling us more about it and the plans they have for the Kenyan market. So for the person who's hearing about Tano Digital for the very first time, who is Tano Digital and what do you guys do?
So Tano Digital is a system integrator founded in Kenya from the year 2011, formerly known as Altron Group. We were part of the Altron Group, and we've just transitioned to Tano Digital. Tano Digital is part of a group of companies that are owned by a company, Tano Digital Botswana. And we make up part of a group. We have locations and presence in 5 African countries, i.e. Mozambique, Kenya, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and I'm sure we are adding more as time goes on. We see ourselves as a Pan-African company.
The biggest conversation right now in the tech world is how businesses can adopt digital solutions. So what are some of the essentials that drive enterprises to get into the digital world?
So some of the needs that we see from our customers is to stay more agile, to make changes, to offer their customers products on the go, where they are able to come up with solutions for their customers without having to invest or without having to take long periods of transition between the old and the new. The other thing is we see is improved customer service. So we play in an area where customer service is a very, very big thing, and where you as the customer expect a lot of services from our customers. So it means some of the solutions that our customers have to come up with are customer-centric. The other thing is there's a lot of data. Again, like we say, data is king, and most decisions will be data-driven. So it means that you can target the correct audience with your solutions.
The journey of transitions into digital solutions definitely comes with a set of challenges. From your experience as a market leader, what are some of the top 3 challenges that you've seen businesses go through when they're trying to adopt digital solutions?
So one of the things that we see is data management and analysis. So we collect all this data. We ask our customers what they think, what they want, how they want us to serve them better. So enterprises will have a lot of data. How do they manage that data? So whether it's from regulation, whether it's from storing it, whether it's from where is it stored. So we find that there's a lot of challenges with our customers looking at where do I store the data, make sure it's safe. Do I store it in the cloud? Do I store it on-prem? On-prem means there's more costs. Okay. So we see that as a big challenge. The other thing is cybersecurity. Again, as you open up your enterprise to attacks, you open up your enterprise to people with bad intentions. So we see cybersecurity threats. The other thing is customers are also very sensitive about what it is that you're coming to me with. So we see customer engagement and experiences are also a big challenge. So for example, we run a contact center solutions where we collect a lot of data from customers. Everything is automated. Sometimes customers don't want to speak to machines. They want to speak to human beings. So you find again that as we are automating and as we are going digital, there's some of you lose sometimes the human touch.
Digital transformation is definitely imminent. What are some of the obstacles and challenges that companies that are yet to fully on board should expect, and how should they navigate this from your experience again as a market leader?
Some of the obstacles and resistance we see is change. We as human beings, of course, change is a big thing. Adoption, new technologies. So resistance to change. You find that most employees, again, like you say, AI, machine learning, everyone is worried that I'm going to lose my job. So how do we help customers to do proper change management? So we have solutions there. How do you train staff? How do we get staff to adapt to the technologies that we're bringing in? So resistant to change is one of the challenges. The other one, again, is skills gap. So here you are sitting in an organization, you've been using this laptop for the longest time, and now they say, no, we need to change this. We need you to learn new technology. So you find that a lot of people are wary of new technology, but then again, that goes back to change. How do you manage that change? Luckily for Kenya, skills is not a problem. People are very good they're very happy to take on technology. Our youth are always up and running, trying to see what new skills they can learn. So some of these things, yes, they may be a challenge, but in the long run, they are an advantage to the nation.
With that said, I think you're speaking about adaptability quotient, and that has to do with a lot of how your staff or your employees take up training, upskilling, and all that. How can human resource departments across the board, regardless of which industry you serve, manufacturing, agriculture, and all that, how can they manage digital transitions in a way that they're able to skill their employees and also still remain profitable?
So I think for me, from experience and also leading a company where 90% of my staff is youth, I think one of the things that I have found is taking them through the change. So we have a generation that wants to know why are we changing this? They have a lot of questions. They want to know how will this help me in my role? Then the second thing I think is to be able to show them the advantages. Once you skill up, it means that you open up a whole new world to yourself. So this is your career path. You skill up, do the development plans, this is your career path. And I think with the youth, once you do that, they will take it up and run.
Great. How do you measure return on investment on digital adoption?
There's a saying that says, what if we train them and they leave? But then again, what if we don't train them and we stay? So there's a very fine balance for organizations in terms of training. So I think as an organization, we believe that train, and for the time that they are with you, they will give you the best. And we've seen people who've been trained who do full circle and still end up back in the organization. So I think for me, top line, bottom line, when it comes to skills, is really a matter of what the organization wants to achieve. Do you want Kenyans out there who don't have skills because you're scared to train? Or do you want a skilled nation where, as your company grows, you can still go back to those skills?
How do you advise enterprises, businesses to take up new technologies like the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and machine learning?
When you look at, from a security perspective, as to talk about Tano Digital from a security perspective, is something that is scary. because for us, you look at it and there's a lot more security that's going to be needed. If we are talking about AI being able to steal data and and really seem like a human being who's opening a bank account, giving details, doing transfers, that's the scary bit of it. But AI can do a lot. For example, when I look at some of the solutions that we sell, where we have digital workers, for example, we are teaching our organizations that you can have digital workers in your organization. One, it helps you to be more efficient. Two, it helps you to automate better. You get better results. That means the spend on mistakes or errors that you'd have made is eliminated. Second thing is a digital worker can work 24/7, can be assigned different roles. So it means that you then let your people go and do more strategic thinking. It means your employees are doing more strategic work rather than the repetitive manual work that they keep doing. So we embrace AI. There's a lot that can be done, but I think there's still measures as to how far and how much security has to be, or rather how prepared a company has to be in terms of cybersecurity.
What is the importance of fast-tracking regulation and aligning policies that guide adoption and use of artificial intelligence?
The advantage that we have is we have a government that really embraces tech. So we're more or less halfway there. I don't think it's going to take as long as it did maybe with the Data Protection Act that took forever. I think again it depends on who is in government, and if you have a government that really looks at tech as something that is essential for this country, then we'll have better regulations. There's younger people enroll. There's yourselves. You're going to pass regulations easily, as opposed to maybe in the olden days where you needed to start explaining to the older folks what this regulation would mean. So I don't, and I know it's been debated. I've seen something in the airwaves, and I know it's something that will come up soon.
Right. Thank you so much, Wanja, for that. We really appreciate you being on the show. We've been speaking to Wanja about digital solutions and how businesses can adopt this. So are you tech savvy in your business? And that's what we're here to handle for you. This is Takeover. On the other side of the show, we have Startup of the Week and Tech Tip of the Week, and then we'll just end it. So don't go too far. We'll be back after the short break. Welcome back. You're watching Takeover, the show that discusses all things technology. Time now to know our innovator of the week. Here is now Startup of the Week. When you get into a normal restaurant in Nairobi to order your food, you are likely to be attended to by a waiter or a waitress holding a pen and a paper, taking your order. Unlike global franchises like Java, Subway, and many others, small independent restaurants are the soul of Africa's food service industry, representing the largest segment of $50 billion industry. However, these restaurants have had a limited access to technology solutions tailored to their needs. This phenomenon inspired Guy Footy and team to come up with Order Africa, a food tech platform with multiple solutions for those restaurants.
We noticed that a lot of restaurants in Kenya are using pen and paper to run their business. Now you know, and I know, that running a business off pen and paper is absolutely difficult, very impossible. It's very hard to know what you made. It's very easy to misplace, lose certain things, right? And no one has focused on building software to improve the lives of restaurant owners using pen and paper, right? So what we've built is we built technology along with financial tools to help restaurants grow their business.
Before Order, managers at these small restaurants, who often double up as cooks, spent as many as 4 hours a day doing manual reconciliation, inventory management, and other administrative tasks. Interestingly, their experience in Kenya has been a surprising one, despite a few teething problems on understanding the application.
It took a lot of training because, as you know, we like to do things the old-fashioned way sometimes, ways that we're comfortable. But after we show the benefits, we tell them, this is how much money you made last week, the month before, or the year before. This is which one of your clerks, maybe, this is how much items you're losing. What's your inventory looking like, right? They start to see the value and the benefits of Order.
Competition is tough in the market as many innovators are equally coming up with similar solutions. This forced them to be a cut above the rest in product refinement.
Okay, so we build the software. It's, a POS will just do your payments, right? And then, but then what we do is, so we build the menu, we put your menu on the POS system. So that means the entire transaction happens in one device. So when someone pays, you can tell them, hey, you want chapati? Okay, chapati is here. And then they can even pay. And then the M-Pesa doesn't go to another account. It goes on that POS and it tracks directly to your inventory. It tells you which one of your clerks. That means you can keep 100% of all your accounts, all your money on one dashboard. Everything consolidated into one system.
But even with what would be termed as admirable success, it is not an easy ride pioneering an industry with minimal tech solutions like food tech.
I mean, we're facing challenges like everyone. The economy lately, right? The economy, and then the recent taxes, but we've done, even more things. Like if you want, we've already integrated with the KRA, right? We've just passed our eTIMS integration, right? And then some other challenges is just, the education, right? Teaching someone who has been using pen and paper, the benefits, right? Has been, not so easy. But we're now proud to say we have over 300 restaurants in Kenya.
In 2022, the food tech platform announced having raised $3.4 million seed round to further digitize food businesses across the continent. Since its first fundraising announcement in January 2022, Order has grown its customer base to more than 600 restaurants across Nigeria and Kenya and is now processing over 500% more weekly orders for its customers. This growth, the company says, is due to an obsession with helping small and medium-sized restaurants run their businesses better.
So we're here in Kenya, we're here to stay. And what we're now doing is we're partnering with banks and institutions to make it easier for people to find us. So when you go to our bank later this year, you'll be able to get your hardware, your POS, the Order software, and even inventory to help you kickstart your business.
Smart Scrapers, a data company, estimates that there are a total of 3,820 restaurants in Kenya as of January 9th, 2024. Reality is, as more restaurants come up and upstage competition, the reality is many of them are yet to digitize and optimize operations. Cost of acquisition such as digital solutions also remain a key concern for the small restaurants. Order hopes to plug these solutions to the market, and that's our startup of the week. Very well. Kenyan youth keep amazing me all the time. And that's our startup of the week. That's our innovator. Time now for Tech Tip of the Week in association with Samsung S24 Galaxy AI. And then we'll just close up.
My name is Simon Karibi. Director and founder of JICOM Enterprises. JICOM Enterprises is authorized Samsung dealer. Our journey started almost about 8 years ago. It came from the interest that I have in technology, having worked in the technology space for over 15 years. I joined Samsung way back 2002, having developed some interest in the tech space. So when I came to the space, it was an exciting journey for me because it is somewhere that I really had passion for. But when I talk about retail in Kenya, business, it's also a very, very challenging environment. I happen to do organized retail because we are in key malls in the country. I have 6 shops right now, many in Nairobi, in all the key malls. Gareria Mall, Imara Mall, Valley Arcade, Mega on Mombasa Road, and Gateway, and our newest store that is at Maralal opposite 4 Point Sheraton. And I would say that the big challenges we have in this space is the mobile phone business is very fragmented. By fragmented, I mean it is not very organized because of the sources of the product. You have the organized retail, like ourselves, where we want customer experience. That is key, that the customer needs to understand the product they are buying. When they visit the store, they need to be taken through, because these are technology products, so that their needs are addressed. But we have another parallel market that works very, very much against us, and that is the unorganized market. We call it open market. Down at the downtown, some areas of Parklands like Diamond Plaza, for them, this is just business. They will flood phones in the market because the entry of phones into the country has very different channels. There is the official channels, and there are very many other channels. So the product comes in various forms, and the customer is not informed. They will get product in the open market without necessarily having a structure, knowing whether they are getting the original product. And because technology is a very complicated element for many people, people don't know what is an original product, what is a product with warranty. And for us, our main focus and build has been, how do we make sure that when customers walk to our store, they have a full solution? They are able to get services, the display on the phones is clear, the product is well labeled, they can understand what they are buying, their need is addressed. Because the first question my team asks you is, what do you need the device for? Do you need it for use for social media? Do you need it for use as a business tool? Do you need it just for the normal use, calling and making calls and SMS? And they are able to give you the device that fits your need. It's not just about selling. So that is an element in retail that has not worked very well. But for us, we have seen our success happen because of the structure that we have for our business. Our stores are well defined, they are neat, they are beautiful. When you come, you have a good customer experience, you are welcome. You need a cup of water, you get it. And more importantly, we do not sell the product, we do not sell the price, we sell the after-sales support. That you know that if you have a problem with that device, you know where to go, and you know that you'll be taken care of.
Very well, that was Tech Tip of the Week in association with Samsung S24 Galaxy AI. You've now known how you can adopt technology in your business. Startup of the Week. You're up to speed with what's been happening in the tech world. That's a fair point to leave it at. My name is Brian Jojotieno. Thank you so much for finding time for us on TECHOVER here on NTV. We are here now 3 weeks in a month telling you about tech and what is happening. Until then, take care and remain tech savvy, and may tech live forever.